Silva Mind Control Method. Chapter 1. Use more of your mind in special ways. Imagine making direct, effective contact with a higher, omnipresent intelligence and learning in a moment of spiritual exhilaration that it is on your side. Also, imagine that you establish this contact in such a simple way that for the rest of your life, you will never need to feel helpless and away from something you always suspected existed, but that he had never been able to fully reach. A beneficial wisdom, a flash of insight when he needed it, the feeling of a loving and powerful presence. How would it feel? It would be a climactic experience that would not be too different, perhaps not different at all, from spiritual awe. This is what it feels like after 4 days of receiving Silva Mind Control training. Until now, the millions of people who have gone through it know it. And as you become more and more familiar with the use of the methods that produce this sensation, you become accustomed to the calm and confident use of new powers and energies, and live a fuller, healthier, more problem-free life. Below, Jose Silva will explain some of these methods so that you can start using them yourself. First, let's imagine that we attend the beginning of a mind control class to see what happens in it. To begin, there is a preliminary conference lasting approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes. The speaker defines mind control and gives an outline of the 2 decades of research that led to its formulation. Then briefly describe the ways in which students will be able to apply what they learn to improve health, solve everyday problems, learn more easily, and heighten spiritual awareness. Then there is another session that begins with the first training exercise, which leads to a meditative level of the mind, which is a state of deep relaxation, deeper than sleep itself, but presided over by a special kind of consciousness. In fact, it is an altered state of consciousness that is generally practiced in all meditation disciplines and deep prayer. No drugs or biofeedback machines are used. Mind control lecturers speak of entering this state as entering level, or sometimes entering alpha. In a 30-minute exercise, they gently take the student to that level, providing instructions in simple language. In fact, everything that makes up mind control is expressed in simple language. There is no scientific jargon or Far Eastern words. It is possible that several of the students have already learned to meditate before coming to class. Some of them have followed methods that are learned after several weeks, and others have learned disciplines that require a certain effort. They are surprised at the simplicity of an exercise that takes only 30 minutes. One of the first phases that students hear is they are learning to use more of their mind and to use it in a special way. This is a simple prayer that they hear and incorporate from the beginning. The full meaning of it is nothing short of astonishing. Everyone, without exception, has a mind that can be easily trained to exercise powers that beginners openly doubt they possess. It is not until they actually experience these powers that they become convinced. Another thing that students are told is, mentally project yourself to your ideal place of relaxation. This is a pleasant, calming exercise, and so remarkably vivid that it strengthens the imagination and leads to deeper relaxation. A few words about meditation. In common parlance, this means thinking about things. If you put this book aside for a moment and think about what you're going to have for dinner tomorrow, you are meditating. But in the different meditative disciplines, the word takes on a more specific meaning and refers to a special level of the mind. In some disciplines, achieving this level is an end in itself. Clear the mind of all conscious thoughts. This produces a pleasant peace of mind and contributes greatly to relieving and preventing diseases caused by tension, as countless studies have proven. But this is passive meditation. Mind control goes much further. It teaches the student to use this level of the mind to solve problems, both the small ones, which are annoying, and the larger ones, which are oppressive. This is dynamic meditation, and the power it has is truly spectacular. Today we hear more and more about alpha. It is one of the patterns that brainwaves follow, a type of electrical energy produced by the brain, and can be measured using an electroencephalograph, EEG. The rates of this energy are measured in cycles per second, CPS. Generally, from approximately 14 CPS and up, we speak of beta waves. Approximately 7 to 14 are alpha, from 4 to 7 theta, and from 4 down, they are delta. When you are fully awake, active, and able to function in the everyday world, you are in beta, or external consciousness, to use mind control terminology. When you are daydreaming, but not quite there yet, you are in alpha. Mind control people call this inner consciousness. When he is asleep, he is in alpha, theta, or delta, not only in alpha, as many believe. With mind control training, you can enter the alpha level at will and yet remain fully alert. You may be wondering what it feels like to be at these different levels of mind. Being in beta, or fully awake, does not produce any particular sensation. You may feel confident or fearful, busy or idle, absorbed or bored. The possibilities in beta are endless. At the deepest levels, options are limited for most people. Life has taught them to function in beta, not alpha or theta. At the deeper levels, they are rather limited to daydreaming, on the edge of sleep, or in the dream itself. But with mind control training, the useful possibilities begin to multiply, perhaps without limit. As Harry McKnight, Deputy Director of Silva Mind Control, wrote, "The alpha dimension has a full set of sensory faculties, just like beta." In other words, we can do different things in alpha than we can in beta. This is the primary concept of mind control. Once you become familiar with these sensory faculties and learn to use them, you will be using more of your mind in a special way. In reality, he will act physically whenever he wants, using superior intelligence. Most people turn to mind control as a means to relax, to put an end to insomnia, to find relief from headaches, or to learn things that require enormous efforts of will, such as quitting smoking, lose weight, improve memory, study more effectively. This is why most of them come to learn much, much more than that. They learn that the 5 senses, touch, taste, smell, hearing, and sight, are just part of the senses we are born with. There are others, called powers or senses, once known only to a few privileged people and to the mystics, who develop them throughout lives separated from the active world. The mission of mind control is to train us to awaken these powers. Nadine Berlin, beauty editor of Mademoiselle magazine, aptly expressed what this awakening may mean in the magazine's March 1972 issue. Drug culture can have its pills, mind-expanding powders, and injections. I prefer something pure. Mind control actually expands the mind and teaches how to expand it. The name is very appropriate because, unlike drugs or hypnosis, you are in control. The mental expansion, self-awareness, and help you provide to others through mind control are limited only by the limitations you impose on yourself. Anything is possible. You hear of this happening to others, and suddenly you realize that it is happening to yourself. Watch more videos of the Silva mind control method on our Planet Alibro channel.